Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Giggity, real name is Mark, and in today's video, we are going to be going over the best Call of Duty characters A through Z. We have been doing this little format for a couple things now. We did it with the SMGs, the ARs, shotguns, and sniper rifles so far, and now today we're going to take a break from the weapon classes. Don't worry, we will still do it with the LMGs, the pistols, and most likely the melee weapons as well. But today we're going to take a break from all the weapon classes and do it on characters, because I haven't made a video ever, I don't think, on this channel talking about any of the Call of Duty characters, and obviously Call of Duty has some of the most iconic characters in gaming history, period, in my opinion, and so I thought it would be a really fun idea to do this. So obviously the way this works, in case you're new here, is we go over the alphabet alphabetically, so starting with A and then ending with Z, obviously, and I say what I believe to be is the best character that's name starts with that letter. Pretty simple, pretty basic. Obviously these videos are a little bit difficult to make, and this one especially because I don't really know too much about all like Call of Duty characters, but on top of that you have to kind of like look up a list for them, and so I was looking up a list, and some of these characters I've never even heard of before. I'm going to be 100% honest. That's one thing I really want to get started doing on this channel, is playing through all the Call of Duty campaigns, because I really am not a big campaign guy. I've only really played through probably like 4 of the COD campaigns, so I really want to get playing through them all. That way I can know the characters better. But either way, without further ado, let's get right into it with, oh wait, Song of the Day, my bad. Song of the Day is called 115. It's the Kino der Toten Easter egg song. It's a banger. It's by Call of Duty Zombies. So yeah, go give it a listen if you haven't already. If you haven't already though, you're a criminal. But without further ado, let's get right into it now with the best character that starts with the letter A. And as for the letter A, I went with your boy Adler. Even though I'm going to be 100% honest, I don't really care for Adler. I always kind of thought Adler was a boring character. Like, he just seems like goofy. He doesn't seem cool. He just seems like a big old goofball. I think that's kind of the big problem with a lot of modern Call of Duties and their characters in general, is that none of them seem like cool warriors. Like, dude, just remember Woods. Woods was badass. Alright, sorry for my language, but he was. This guy was a beast, dude. He's like the epitome of the Vietnam War, too. Like, you could tell he was a messed up dude. Adler? I don't care about Adler, man. I understand that a lot of other people do, and so that's why I put him here for the letter A. I think he's a very important character in Call of Duty's campaign, for sure, but I'm not the biggest fan of him. As a matter of fact, I think the guy that I chose for letter B is a cooler character than Adler, and he's a very, very small side character that doesn't really play that big of an importance in the game he's in. It's Bowman from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. He's the black guy. I'm just gonna say it, man. He's the black guy in Black Ops 1. But he's a freaking beast, okay? Every time that he makes an appearance, he's a beast. Now, he doesn't play as big of a role as a lot of the other players in Black Ops 1, obviously. Mason, Woods, Hudson, these guys are like the main guys, but Bowman is always kind of there, just always kind of there, being a bro, being a homie, and we all love Bowman. C, we're going to be staying in this game because, oh yeah, fun fact, two fun facts. One, Black Ops 1 is one of the only Call of Duty campaigns that I ever actually did play, and 2, Black Ops 1 introduced like probably the strongest lineup of COD characters of all time, so there's a lot of Black Ops 1 entries. But for the letter C, I went with Castro. It's a real person. It's Fidel Castro, obviously, but they just made him into Call of Duty Black Ops 1, and yeah, he's a beast. Now he's a beast in the wrong sense. Obviously, he's a bad guy. He's I'm not saying Fidel Castro is a cool dude. No, he's obviously not a good guy in any regards. But the way they made his character in this game is really well done. Okay, this guy actually is just genuinely, like, overall just a cool dude. As coming in for the letter D is going to Dempsey. Now, this is by the way, I wanted to make this abundantly clear. I guess I'll mention it now. Obviously, there are instances where it's like somebody's going to be like, well, Dempsey isn't the guy's actual name, it's Tank. Tank is his real name, and Dempsey is his last name. But yeah, I played some word limbo there to make some of these guys' names fit into some of the letters I want them to fit into. I hope you don't mind, but yeah, Dempsey is coming in for the letter D. For those who don't know, he's a COD Zombies character. He's one of the ones you can play as, all the way from, I believe they started with the original 4 in Shino Numa, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, Dempsey was all the way back in Verrucht. He was the very first one you could ever play as, actually, because Verrucht was 3 Marines and Dempsey, and then Shino was Takeo, Dempsey, Nikolai, and Richtofen, I believe. But either way, yeah, he's a Zombies character. He's extremely iconic, one of the coolest Zombies characters, and as a burger-eating American myself, I love this guy. I think he's a great interpretation of America, and I love him. And for the letter E, this is the first one where I honestly, unfortunately, can't tell you too much about him because I don't know him. It's Evans in Call of Duty 1. There was not a lot of E's. There was only like maybe 4 or 5 letter E's, and every single one of them were in the first couple of games. COD 1, 2, 3, Finest Hour, Big Red 1, United Front, or whatever that other one was called. they were in the first couple CODs, which I never got to play, and so I unfortunately can't really give you my opinion on Evans in Call of Duty 1. It says he's a playable character in COD 1, which is very important, obviously, so I'm assuming he's important to the game, and so I put him here for the letter E spot. As for the letter F, we are going to be going with Farid from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I did play the Black Ops 2 campaign, but for some reason I don't remember much about the Black Ops 2 campaign. Everything about BO2's campaign is kind of like I remember the main story parts. Obviously Woods is still alive, and you can shoot and kill Mason at one point, or it's Mason's brother or something. I can't really remember exactly, but you can shoot somebody, or you can save him, but just shoot him. Like I remember like the big moments, but Farid I didn't really remember too much. So until I read up on him again and was like, oh yeah, that's right. This guy is a CIA spy who acts like a terrorist throughout the entire game that you can play as, and he's actually kind of a cool dude. They never really did anything like this again, honestly, which is surprising. As for the letter G, I forgot to mention this in the intro, but you guys have probably obviously already noticed this by now, but in the background I didn't know what to put for clips, by the way, so I just put like cool multiplayer clips that I found on YouTube, and then I will be putting pictures up on screen of every single one of the characters to refresh your guys' memory. But yeah, I didn't really know what to put for the background clips for this video, so I hope you guys are still enjoying the background clips. Either way, for the letter G, I went with Ghost, obviously, from Modern Warfare 2. The original Modern Warfare 2 Ghost, not the new one. The new one's still cool, don't get me wrong, like Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2022 Ghost, he's still a cool guy. Like let's be, in my opinion, he's still a beast. But Modern Warfare 2's Ghost is just so much better in every single regard. He has probably one of the most impactful deaths in the entire game. Not story-wise, but just like player feeling-wise. You feel the most sad when Ghost dies compared to like every other character in every other modern or COD game, I should say. He's a legend. And as for the letter H, I'm going to be 100% honest, I played Black Ops 1's campaign when I was like 11 years old, so I still don't know if this guy's a good or a bad guy. I don't know. It's going to Hudson from Black Ops 1. Hudson is the guy that's the numbers Mason. What do they mean? That's him. The entire game, he's the one trying to rip apart Mason's mind to try and figure out what's going on and what happened on those missions that Mason went on, pretty much. That's Hudson. And again, I don't know, is he a good guy or a bad guy? I'm assuming he's a good guy. He seems like he would be a good guy. Like, that seems like he's just trying to help the betterment of America here. And unfortunately, Mason has to kind of like fall victim to that. But nonetheless, I don't really know. He is a very important character, though. And literally, the numbers Mason, what do they mean, is like a pop culture icon at this moment. And he's the one that says it. So I think it's important. As for the letter I, there is only 2 letter I characters that start with the letter I guess you can say, in Call of Duty history. And so the one that I went with is going to Ingram in Call of Duty 1 through 3. It is, again, another character that unfortunately I can't say too much about because I never played COD 1 through 3, obviously. Guys, by the way, yes, we will be uploading after I'm done with all the zombies videos, which is what we're doing on the channel right now, is playing every single COD zombies map in zombies history. Go check that out, shameless plug. But after we're done doing all those, we are going to be playing through every single Call of Duty campaign, starting with COD 1, even doing like the big red one, Finest Hour, things like that. Every single COD campaign, I'm going to play through every single one of them. That way I know them as a Call of Duty YouTuber. But yeah, Ingram is a character in COD 1 through 3. Apparently he's in all 3 of them, so he must be pretty important, so I put him as letter I. And there's only one other letter I anyways. As for the letter J, it is another character that I have never even heard of before. Think Ingram and Evans, like, I've actually heard of those characters before, even though I didn't play those games. This is going to Jackson in Call of Duty Vanguard. There was not a lot of good letter J characters in Call of Duty history, and Jackson is apparently one of the playable characters in the Call of Duty Vanguard campaign. So obviously, he's pretty important for the Vanguard story. Unfortunately, the Vanguard story is a very, very boring story that not a lot of people care about, so nobody really knows who Jackson is, at least that's what I'm assuming. But either way, yeah, that's who I'm putting for the letter J. And for the letter K, it is another Black Ops 1 character. We have already talked about Hudson, Dempsey, Castro, and Bowman. Technically, I guess you can say Dempsey is a World at War character, but either way, we've already talked about quite a bit of Black Ops 1 characters, and for the letter K, we're going with Kennedy, another Black Ops 1 character. Obviously, this is John F. Kennedy, a real-life human being that was alive, but not anymore, and they put into their games, just like Castro, to make it more realistic. This was like, dude, this is what I mean, like, the games were just, like, actually somewhat realistic. Now, the Zombies map 5, obviously, where Kennedy is in. Now, it's not the most realistic setting there, obviously, but nonetheless, it is cool to even see that he's in the game, and he has some of the coolest like lines in the game too. As for the letter L, the character I went with is going to be going to Locke in Call of Duty World at War. Another letter that, surprisingly, there was not a lot of characters that started with the letter L. Locke in World at War is a pretty important character in World at War story. I did play World at War story, actually. This was a very long time ago, though. Probably around the same time that I played Black Ops 1 story, because I wanted to play Nocturne Doan without like paying for the DLC in Black Ops 1, so I just played World at War's campaign to get it. But either way, yeah, I don't really remember too much about Locke, just that I remember him being a pretty important character to the story. Like, that name rings a major bell. As for the letter M, I feel like this one was pretty obvious. We went with Mason. Back to Black Ops 1. I'm sorry, but Black Ops 1 has some of the most iconic characters in Call of Duty history, okay? I'm sorry. Mason in Black Ops 1 is a character you play as pretty much throughout the entire game. I think there are a couple missions where you play as like another character here and there, but for the most part, you're playing as Mason. His real name is Alex Mason, and he is a freaking beast, okay? One of the best, in my personal opinion, like, starting character or like main protagonists in the Call of Duty franchise easily. Like, yeah, Soap is cool, Yuri's cool. Like, there are some cool characters in COD's history that you play as, but Mason's story has so much impact in the world that it's in. It is so awesome. Like, you are the main character, and it's awesome. As for the letter N, it ain't a list without talking about Nikolai, man. We already talked about Dempsey. Now it's time to talk about Nikolai. This one, dude. Again, COD Zombies nailed it with their first 4. Like, I don't care. I don't know what Black Ops 6 is trying to do with their new, like, main characters to the main storyline. They're nowhere near as cool as the original 4 in Black Ops 1. Nikolai, for those who don't know, is the Russian character. He has probably the most funny lines out of any character, especially back when this game came out. Dude, I was 10 years old. I thought everything this guy was saying was absolute comedy gold. Nikolai is hilarious. Hey, like, this dude, he's a beast. Nikolai is a freaking beast. One of the best. In my personal opinion, I like Dempsey a little bit better, but he's easily a close second for the Zombies characters. And for the letter O, again, not a lot of characters started with the letter O, obviously, here, but I went with O'Leary in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Nobody calls him O'Leary. For those who don't know, this is Finn from Mob of the Dead, which actually, by the way, the voice actor, or the guy that it's actually like modeled after, I believe, unfortunately passed away relatively recently, and he was an incredible actor. But either way, he was one of the characters that you could play as in Mob of the Dead. Obviously, the Mob of the Dead characters were pretty iconic, but they only had one real, like, showing, and so it's not, like, the most important character in COD's history, but it's still a really, really cool one. As for the letter P, I feel like this one is just, like, so obvious. We went with Captain Price. Or just Price, obviously. Yeah, I said earlier that I think Mason is one of the most iconic characters in COD history. He is definitely still, in my opinion, one of the most iconic, but the most iconic, in my opinion, is this guy right here. Price has been in every single Modern Warfare game. There have been a ridiculous amount of Modern Warfare games, and he has always been an extremely strong factor in the games. He's like the father figure of every single character you play as. He means so much. He's unkillable. The guy's an absolute tank. He's a beast. He's such a cool guy. And now, he's not my personal favorite character, definitely in my top 5, but not my personal favorite, but either way, he's so awesome. Bravo 6 going dark. Unfortunately, though, the letter Q is not possible. There is not a single character in Call of Duty history where the first or last name starts with the letter Q. Not a single one. Now, obviously, there are probably some characters that have the letter Q somewhere within their name, but even that, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody said, no, there isn't, and it's just no one out there in the entire game that has the letter Q anywhere within its name. So yeah, unfortunately for the letter Q, it's not possible. I couldn't find one. I'm sorry, boys. The letter R, though, is, I mean, again, it's obvious, especially if you knew Nikolai and Dempsey were already here. Like, obviously the letter R is going to be going to Richtofen. Richtofen, man, he's not my personal favorite of the 4. As a matter of fact, I would probably argue that he's my least favorite, just because he's like, you can never really trust him. And I know lore-wise it makes sense for what his character does half the time, but I can't follow all that, man. Like, it's so confusing to me. Like, sometimes he's on your side, sometimes he's clearly against you and is like, doesn't want, like, is just using you. It's so confusing. But Richtofen is obviously probably the most important character in COD Zombies, obviously, and everything revolves around Richtofen. Some of his lines are absolutely incredible. There is, like I said, Captain Price, Mason. Yes, they have like their whole series based after them, but this guy has the entirety of COD Zombies based around him. And the letter S. This is, in my opinion, dude, I always thought this character was super underrated. It's going to Soap. You play as Soap in the original first Call of Duty, and then I think actually in the second one you play as Soap as well, if I'm not mistaken, or the original COD 4 Modern Warfare, I should say. And I think in Modern Warfare 2 you play as him as well, but in Modern Warfare 3 you play as Yuri, you don't play as Soap, and it turns out that you know, Soap ends up dying. Spoiler alert, but yes, Soap ends up dying. And dude, I know it's crazy. Sometimes though, I think Soap's death is a little bit more heartfelt than Ghost's death. Sometimes, like the way that Captain Price yells over Soap's body is so well done. Like it's such a sad moment. Soap is an awesome character, man, and he's got a mohawk. Like that's just baller. And the letter T. If you've been following along, you knew this one was coming as well, because we obviously have mentioned every other one of the original 4 Zombies characters. The letter T, we're going with Takeo. Yeah, Takeo is the Japanese character. There's obviously the Russian, which is Nikolai, the American, which is Dempsey, the German, which is Richthofen, and then the Japanese, which is Takeo. And Takeo, man, he just, dude's got freaking aura. Of all the Zombies original 4, Takeo has easily the most amount of aura. He's just as much of a beast as the other 2. In my personal opinion, he's my third favorite. I think my favorite is Nikolai, followed by Dempsey, followed by Takeo, and then Richthofen as last, because again, he's just so confusing. But either way, he is still even Richthofen is probably in my top 10 Call of Duty characters, so obviously Takeo is there as well. The letter U, well, it's going to a character called Ulan, I don't know. He's in Call of Duty 3, which again, I've never played that Call of Duty's campaign, so I don't know anything about that Call of Duty's campaign. And he is the only character in the entire history of COD that has the letter U as the start of their name. So he pretty much got this place due to the fact that there's nobody else out there. So yeah, good job, Ulan. Then for the letter V, there were a couple where it was like, yeah, you just knew you were going to put him there as that letter, so you just went there immediately and put him there, and then you had to look up the list for the rest. But for the letter V, I knew I was going to put Viktor Reznov as the letter V. Reznov is such an interesting character, because he really, okay, he was important to Black Ops 1 story, yet again, yes, another Black Ops 1 character, but he was important to Black Ops 1 story, but at the end of the day, man, he really didn't play the biggest role. He wasn't there in a lot of the missions, but he stuck with you throughout the entire game. Everybody loves Reznov, and the reason why is because of the very, very small amount of time that you have with the guy. He just knows how to make you freaking love him. Reznov is a beast. But the letter W wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. This is my favorite Call of Duty character, period, of all time. I don't think there's anybody that even comes close. It's Woods in Call of Duty Black Ops 1, and obviously Black Ops 2 as well. Woods is my favorite, easily. He's my favorite. The guy is just so well done. The character is just so well done, man. Everything about Woods is awesome, in my opinion. I love the fact that his fake out death in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like they did it because they felt like people weren't going to like Black Ops 2's story if they didn't bring Woods back. No, it felt like it made sense story-wise and how he did it, the way that they explode, because they did kill him off screen with the explosion. It makes sense. It was awesome. And then the moments when you're trapped in the bunker, the prison with him. Oh my God, Woods is a beast, man. If you want somebody on your side in a war, it's Woods. The letter X, however, just like the letter Q, because of course it is, X and Q are both very unused letters, I would say, in the English language, or the English language, because this is English, but either way, it's not possible, is what I'm trying to say. Just like the letter X, or Q, my bad, there is no Call of Duty character in the entire history of COD that has the letter X as the start of either their first or last name, or even a nickname that they call them or something. It's just not possible. The X isn't there. Now, is there a couple characters that probably have the letter X in their name? Yes, probably, but it's not the start, so we're not including them. And the letter Y is again another character that, in my opinion, is actually kind of slept on in the Modern Warfare series, Yuri. You play as Yuri in Modern Warfare 3, and honestly, man, again, I never really paid too much attention to the Call of Duty campaigns. This is the reason why I want to play them again so bad, is because I want to actually figure out what happens in them, because I honestly don't know if Yuri is a good or a bad guy. I'm assuming he's a good guy because you literally kill him, or you literally kill the bad guy as Yuri, as the finale of Modern Warfare 3, so I'm assuming he's got to be a good guy. But obviously the moment where, yeah, Yuri does know all the bad guys. In COD 4, he's in the SUV with Zakayev, or whatever that guy's name is. This guy is definitely has ties to the bad people, but he ends up being a good guy. He's a really, in my opinion, confusing character, but obviously really important. And finally, the letter Z. Kind of just hinted to him, kind of gave you guys a little bit of a wiener tease there a little bit just 2 seconds ago, because it's Zakayev from Call of Duty 4. Yeah, this is what I was literally just talking about. This is Call of Duty 4's main bad guy, pretty much, and there's not obviously a lot of characters in COD history that start with the letter Z, so he kind of got here just due to the fact that there wasn't a lot, but also he is a pretty well-written villain, and the fact that you shoot the dude's arm off and he still is like a menace is kind of cool, and the fact that, like, yeah, you technically is in COD 4, the original COD 4, but makes like a big impact on the rest of the world for Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 is cool as well. Zakhaev, I think, earns the letter Z spot, and he's like the only real, like, genuine bad guy that's on this list, I think, but besides like Castro, I guess you can say. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of the best Call of Duty characters A through Z. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos I'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo. And I will be leaving a comment down below with my new YouTube channel where I will be uploading any sort of gameplay that's not Call of Duty related in the future. So if you guys are interested in watching me play random games, it's going to have literally no theme whatsoever. By all means, go give it a check, if you will. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. This definitely going to be continuing this series with the A through Z stuff. We want to do maps for sure. We want to do pistols and LMGs, and those are the only 3 that I can think of right now. Obviously, we are completing our zombies, playing every zombies maps series as well. But after that, dude, I'm actually so excited to play through all the Call of Duty campaigns because, again, I want to know, like, not only do I like playing the COD campaigns, I just never really had a reason to. I always just played on multiplayer. But now I have a channel that I'm talking about Call of Duty, I have a reason to. Like, I need to, know what I'm talking about if I'm going to make videos about campaign stuff, and I want to make videos about campaign stuff. So I think it's going to be fun to play through all the campaigns. It's obviously not going to be for a while. We still have a lot of COD Zombies maps to go, but nonetheless, it will be happening eventually. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.